Nia Carter's scream tore through the helicopter's roar, raw and piercing. "Don't get in the helicopter," she shouted, sprinting across the rooftop helipad of Langston Enterprises. The billionaire, Victor Langston, froze his hand on the chopper's door, his silver hair glinting in the dawn light. Security guards lunged, their hands on holsters, pinning Nia with glares that burned. Her janitor's uniform clung to her, soaked with sweat, her braids whipping in the wind. The Manhattan skyline sparkled below, oblivious to the chaos on the 60th floor. Victor's sharp blue eyes locked onto her. "Who the hell are you?" he demanded, his voice slicing over the engine's whine. Nia's knees shook, but she stood. "Tall Nia Carter, I clean your offices, and that chopper's rigged to crash." The crowd executives, assistants, pilots went still. A guard grabbed her arm, twisting it. "She's after a payout, sir," he growled. Nia yanked free, her voice rising. "I heard them last night in the server room. Man with a scar said you won't make it to Tokyo." Whispers rippled. Victor's assistant Claire stepped forward, her pencil skirt crisp. "This is ridiculous, Victor. She's a nobody." Nia's fists clenched. "Check the chopper," she pleaded. "I'm not lying." Victor stared, his jaw tight, then raised a hand. "Hold the flight." The pilot cut the engine blades. Slowing to a haunting quiet, Nia exhaled, her heart pounding. She'd just risked everything, her job, her safety, for a man who didn't know her name. The rooftop felt like a stage. Every eye on Nia as the maintenance crew scrambled to inspect the helicopter. She stood alone, the guard's grip on her arm loosening but not gone. Victor watched her, his face unreadable. "If you're wrong, you'll regret this," he said, his voice low. Nia met his gaze. "If I'm right, you'll be alive." Her mind flashed to last night. Mopping the server room at 2 a.m., she'd stayed late to cover a coworker's shift. Her third job that week, to pay for her brother's medical bills. Hidden behind humming machines, she'd overheard the man with the scar. His voice clipped. "Langston's chopper won't make Tokyo." She'd scribbled every detail on a napkin, her pulse racing, knowing she wasn't supposed to be there. Now, she wondered if she'd misheard, if she'd thrown her life away for nothing. The maintenance chief jogged over, his face grim, holding a black device with frayed wires. "Mr. Langston," this was in the fuel line. "Go." Could have sparked mid-flight. The crowd gasped. Claire's clipboard clattered to the ground. Nia's breath caught, relief flooding her. She hadn't been wrong. Victor's face paled, his hand gripping the chopper's doorframe. He turned to her, pointing. "You, come with me now." Nia followed Victor into his penthouse office, her sneakers squeaking on the marble. The door shut, sealing out the rooftops. Chaos. Victor sat behind his oak desk, power radiating from him. His security chief, Torres, stood by the door, arms crossed. Nia stayed standing, her hands clasped to hide their trembling. "Talk," Victor said. "How does a janitor overhear a plot to kill me?" Nia recounted the server room, the man. With the scar, the phone call. "I wasn't spying," she said. "I was working. I saw your flight schedule this morning and put it together." Victor's eyes narrowed. "Why risk everything to warn me?" Nia shrugged. "Because it was right. You don't let someone die when you can stop it." Torres snorted. "Convenient story. How do we know you're not involved?" Nia's eyes flashed. "If I was, I'd be gone with a payoff, not standing here." Victor silenced Torres with a look. "Describe the man again," he said. Nia repeated, scar, gray suit, clipped voice. Victor's face darkened. "Sounds familiar." He muttered, "Torres, check the server room footage." Torres nodded and left. Nia's stomach knotted. She'd saved Victor's life. But the way he studied her, like she was a puzzle made her wonder what came next. Nia sat in Victor's office, the leather chair swallowing her. The city's lights glittered through the glass walls, but the room felt heavy. Victor leaned back, his fingers drumming. "You're not what I expected," he said. "Tell me who you are." Nia hesitated. She didn't share her life, not with strangers, not with anyone. But Victor's gaze, curious, almost respectful, pulled her in. "I'm nobody," she started. "I clean your floors. Take care of my brother. That's it." Her mind flashed to Jamal, 19, lying in a hospital bed, his kidney failing. At 24, Nia had dropped out of college to care for him after their mom died. She worked 3 jobs, janitor, barista, delivery driver to pay for his dialysis. Last night, she'd only been in the server room because Lena called in sick. I wasn't supposed to hear anything, she said. I was mopping. The man didn't see me. I hid. Victor leaned forward. And you still ran to warn me? Why? Nia's jaw tightened. My mom taught me to do right, even when it's hard. I couldn't walk away. Victor nodded, something shifting in his eyes. You're more than a janitor, he said. Torres returned, holding a tablet. Server room footage, he said, clicking play. The grainy video showed the man with the scar, pacing phone to his ear.
Langston's chopper won't make Tokyo,
he said, his voice muffled but clear. Nia's breath caught. It was real. Victor's face hardened. Run facial recognition, he ordered. Torres nodded, typing. Nia's mind raced. She'd done her part, but the weight of the moment pressed on her. She thought of Jamal, his hospital bills piling up. She'd missed her barista shift to deal with this, and her bank account was already empty. You stayed late to cover a shift, Victor said, breaking her thoughts. Why? Nia shrugged. Bills don't wait. My brother needs me. Told him about Jamal, the dialysis, the nights she barely slept. Victor listened, his fingers still. When she finished, the room was quiet. You're carrying a lot, he said. And you still saved my life. Nia looked away, her throat tight. She didn't want pity. She wanted to go home, to check on Jamal, to pretend today hadn't happened. But Victor's next words stopped her. I owe you, Nia, and I don't forget debts. The tablet pinged. Torres turned it to Victor. Facial recognition hit. He said, Elliot Voss, former head of security. Fired for skimming funds. Victor's eyes darkened. Elliot, he muttered, is bitter. But this bold? Nia frowned. He was talking to someone on the phone, she said. He wasn't alone. Victor nodded. We'll trace the call. He stood pacing. You've given me more than a warning, Nia. You've exposed a traitor. Nia shifted, uneasy. She hadn't meant to unravel a conspiracy. She just wanted to do right. But the way Victor looked at her now, like she was more than a janitor maid. Her wonder what she'd stepped into. Go home, Victor said. Rest. We'll handle this. Nia nodded, but as she left, her phone buzzed. A text from Jamal's nurse. Payment overdue. Call us. Her chest tightened. She'd saved a billionaire, but her world hadn't. Changed. Outside, reporters swarmed, shouting her name. Nia. Are you the hero? She pulled her hoodie up, slipping through the crowd. She wasn't a hero. She was just Nia, trying to keep her brother alive. Nia stood in the conference room, a dozen suits staring like she didn't belong. Victor sat at the head, calm but unreadable. Claire, his assistant, stood by a whiteboard, her lips pursed. Torres plugged a USB into a laptop. Server room footage, he said, playing the clip. The man with the scar appeared, his voice clear. Langston's chopper won't make Tokyo. Nia's pulse raced. It was proof. But Claire scoffed. This proves nothing, she said. She could have staged it. She's got access. Nia's fists clenched. I'm not a liar, she snapped. I don't even know how to stage something. Victor raised a hand. Enough, he said. Torres, run the facial recognition again. Claire's eyes darted to Nia, sharp with resentment. Victor, you're taking her word over your team's. She's a janitor. Nia stood, her chair scraping. And you didn't notice someone trying to kill him. So maybe titles don't mean everything. The room went silent. Victor's lips twitched. She's not wrong, he said. Sit down, both of you. Nia sank back, her heart pounding. She'd spoken out, but the doubt in their eyes stung. Torres turned the laptop. Confirmed Elliot Voss, he said. Fired 2 years ago. Victor's jaw tightened. He's got a grudge, he said, but who was he talking to? Nia spoke up. The phone call. Trace it. Victor nodded. Do it. But the room's mood didn't shift. Claire whispered to an executive, her words sharp. She's trouble. Probably scamming him. Nia bit her lip, her resolve hardening. She wasn't here for their approval. After the meeting, she slipped into the bathroom, splashing water on her face. Her reflection stared back, tired, defiant. She'd saved Victor, but to them, she was still the help. Her phone buzzed. Another text from the hospital. Urgent. Payment needed. Nia's chest tightened. She'd missed another shift, and Jamal's care was at risk. She leaned against the sink, her eyes burning. Why had she done this? She could have stayed quiet, kept her head down, but her mom's voice echoed, "Do right, even when it's hard." Nia straightened, wiping her face. She'd faced their doubt, their whispers. She'd done what was right, and that was enough. Back in the hallway, Nia overheard Claire again, her voice low. "Victor's too trusting. She's playing him." Yeah, stomach twisted, but she kept walking. She didn't need Claire's trust. She needed to get through this day. Victor called her back to his office, his face grim. "We traced the call," he said. "To burn her phone, but we're closing in." Nia nodded, her mind on Jamal. "You don't look convinced," Victor said, studying her. "They think I'm lying," Nia said, her voice low. "Your team, they see me as a nobody." Victor leaned back. "They're wrong. He's proven more than they ever will." His words were kind, but they didn't ease the weight on her chest. "Go home, Nia," he said. "We'll handle Voss." She left. The reporters outside louder now. "Nia, tell us your story." She pushed through, her hoodie up. At the hospital, Jamal smiled weakly. "You're famous, sis," he said. Forced a smile. "Not yet," she said. But inside, she wondered if she'd made a mistake. Stepping into a world that didn't want her, Nia sat in Victor's office at midnight, a cold coffee in her hands. The building was empty except for her, Victor, and Torres. Torres slid a tablet across the desk. "Payments to Voss," he said. Funneled through a fake vendor. Signed by Claire. Victor's face went still. "Claire," he whispered. "My assistant." Nia's eyes widened. She'd felt Claire's hostility, but this. Torres nodded. "She's been skimming funds. The chopper was meant to take you out before you noticed." Victor stood, pacing, his jaw tight. "Why?" Nia stayed quiet, her mind racing. Claire's resentment wasn't just personal, it was calculated. "We found an email," Torres said, pulling it up. "Claire DeVos. Tokyo's the window. Make it an accident." Victor's hand slammed the desk, making Nia jump. "Get her in here," he said. Nia's heart raced. She'd exposed more than a plot, she'd torn open a betrayal. An hour later, Claire stood in the office. Her composure gone? "It's a mistake," she stammered. Victor held up the tablet. "You did this?" Claire's face crumpled, and she sobbed. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said. Voss said it was the only way to save. Claire's sobs filled the room, but Victor's eyes stayed cold. "Save what?" he demanded. Claire wiped her eyes. "The company. You were going to sell Victor. I couldn't let you destroy it." Nia watched, her heart heavy. Claire's betrayal was ugly, but her pain was real. Maybe it was power, not just money driving her. "You trusted me," Claire said, her voice breaking. "I thought I was protecting you." Victor turned away, his shoulders tense. "You nearly killed me." Nia spoke, her voice soft. "Why Voss?" Claire glanced at her, surprised. "He knew the system. He promised it'd be clean." Victor nodded to Torres. "Yes. Take her to the police." As Claire left, her head low, Victor turned to Nia. "You didn't just save my life," he said. "You saved me from a lie." Nia nodded, unsure what to say. She hadn't planned this. She just wanted to do right. But the weight of the truth pressed on her. She'd changed everything. "Go home," Victor said. "You've done enough." Nia left, her mind spinning. She'd exposed a traitor, but at what cost? Outside, the city was still, the reporters gone. Nia walked to the subway, her hoodie up, her thoughts on Claire. Betrayal hurt, but she understood desperation living for Jamal. Scraping by, she'd felt it. At home, her apartment smelled of mildew, The radiator clanking? She sank onto her couch, exhaustion pulling at her. Her phone buzzed, a news alert. Langston Enterprises saved by janitor's warning. Her name was everywhere. She scrolled, seeing comments. Hero inspiring, but also set up liar. Her chest tightened. She'd done right, but the world still doubted her. She called Jamal, his voice weak but warm. "You're a star, sis," he said. Nia laughed, tears in her eyes. She hung up, staring at the ceiling. She'd saved Victor, exposed Claire, but her life hadn't changed. Jamal's bills loomed, her jobs unpaid. Yet something felt different, a spark of purpose. She'd stepped into a fight and won. Tomorrow, she'd face whatever came next. For now, she closed her eyes, letting the city's hum lull her to sleep. Nia stood in Victor's office, reporters shouting outside. Victor slid a folder across his desk. "This is an offer," he said. "A stake in Langston Enterprises, a board seat. Help me rebuild." Nia stared, her heart racing. It was security for Jamal, a chance to matter. But doubt gnawed at her. "I'm not a businesswoman," she said. "I don't belong here." Victor leaned forward. "You belong because you're honest. You act when others don't." Nia's fingers brushed the folder, her mind spinning. She thought of Jamal, her mom's voice. Do right even when it's hard. She thought of Claire's betrayal, the executive's doubt. Taking this meant fighting a world that didn't see her. Refusing meant staying safe, invisible. "Need to think," she said. Victor nodded. "Take your time. But I know you'll choose right." Nia left, the folder heavy in her hands. Reporters swarmed, cameras flashing. "Nia, are you joining Langston?" She pushed through her heart, pounding. At the hospital, Jamal grinned. "You saved a billionaire," he said. "What's next?" Nia laughed, tears welling. "Maybe saving us," she whispered. Nia sat by Jamal's bed, the folder unopened. His monitors beeped softly, his eyes hopeful. "You could do this, sis," he said. "Be big." Nia smiled. But doubt lingered. She wasn't a leader, not like Victor. She was a janitor, a sister, surviving day by day. Yet the folder promised Mara a chance to fix things, to matter. She thought of her mom, who'd worked 2 jobs but always gave 2. Others? What would you do? Nia whispered to her memory. The answer came clear. Fight. She opened the folder, scanning pages of contracts, numbers she barely understood. But one line stood out. Community Investment Fund, led by Nia Carter. Victor's vision wasn't just profit, was change. Nia's heart swelled. Could help Jamal, her neighborhood, people like her. But fear lingered. What if she failed? What if she wasn't enough? Jamal touched her hand. "You're scared," he said. "But you're always enough." Nia's tears fell. She nodded, squeezing his hand. "I'm doing this," she said. "For us." She left her resolve hardening. She'd call Victor tomorrow. She'd step into the fight. Nia stood outside the hospital, the night air cool. She called Victor, her voice steady. "I'm in," she said. "Good," he replied, his tone warm. "Meet me tomorrow. We start rebuilding." Nia hung up, her mind buzzing. She'd chosen a path she couldn't unchoose, a fight she couldn't unfight. She walked home, the city's lights brighter now. Her phone buzzed. Another news alert. Janitor turned hero joins Langston board. Comments poured in, some cheering, others cruel. She didn't care about them. She cared about Jamal, about her mom's legacy, about doing right. At home, she sat with the folder, reading every page. It was real stock shares, a salary, a role that could change lives. She thought of her shifts, her other jobs. She could quit them, focus this. But fear lingered. What if she let Victor down? What if she let herself down? She pushed the thought aside. She'd saved a man's life. She could save more. She fell asleep, the folder beside her, dreaming of a future she'd never imagined. Nia stood in the boardroom, her suit feeling less like armor now. Her nameplate read Nia Carter, and the executives watched, some with respect, others with doubt. Victor nodded, giving her the floor. Let's clicked her presentation, her voice steady. We're cutting waste, starting community programs. Let's make Langston matter. She's outlined cuts to fake vendors, new hires, a youth fund for tech training. Some nodded, others shifted uncomfortably. Bold, said Executive Karen, smiling. I'm with her. Naya exhaled, her heart racing. She'd spent weeks studying, digging into Langston's rot. But challenges hit fast. A supplier pulled out, citing instability. Reporters twisted her story, calling her a diversity stunt. Naya stayed late, poring over budgets, her eyes burning. She thought of Jamal, his doctor warning his. Condition worsened. She's not giving up. A knock came. Torres, with a USB Voss named accomplices, he said. You're cleaning house? Nia nodded, exhausted but resolute. She'd build something real, even as obstacles stacked. Nia sat in her new office, papers scattered, a coffee cold. She'd fired 3 execs, hired locals who'd never had a chance. The company shifted, staff rallied, profits inched up. The media storm grew. A TV host called her a PR move. She ignored it, focused on a community center plan funded by Langston's. At the hospitals, Jamal smiled, seeing her. You're doing it, he said, his voice weak, proud. Nia's heart ached, but she nodded. For us, back at work, a pipe burst, costing her budget. An exec blamed her inexperience. She stood firm, fixing it herself. Torres called more arrests tied to Claire's fraud. Nia felt relief but no joy. She wanted to build, not destroy. She visited her old neighborhood, seeing kids like her younger self. We're starting a fund, she told them. You'll get training, jobs. Their eyes lit up. Nia's resolve grew. She'd prove them wrong. The doubters, the haters. She'd make Langston a beacon, not a machine. Nia stood at a staff meeting, her voice clear. We're not just profit, she said. We're people, she unveiled. A health plan for workers, funded by cuts to waste. Applause came, hesitant, but real. After Karen pulled her aside, You're changing things, she said. Keep going, Nia nodded. But challenges lingered. A vendor sued, claiming breach. She fought it, winning in court. Jamal's doctor called stable, thanks to her new pay covering his care. Nia cried, relief flooding her. At night, she walked the office. Once, a place too she'd cleaned, now hers to shape. A photo of her mom sat on her desk, smiling. Trying, Nia whispered. The company grew. New hires, community events, profits. Reporters shifted, praising her vision. Nia didn't care about their words for fame. She cared about impact, the kids she'd fund, the workers she'd lift, the brothers she'd save. She was building something lasting, something right. Nia stood on the rooftop helipad, now a community space. Music played. Families laughed below at Langston's first charity gala for hospital funds.
Oh.
Nia wore a dress she'd bought, her braids crowned gold. Victor raised a glass. To Nia, he said, she saved me, saved us. Nia's heart swelled. She'd transformed Langston, new jobs, clean budgets, a scholarship in her mom's name. Jamal, stable, sat nearby, clapping. The villains' saboteurs were gone, their crimes exposed. Nia looked at the city, her eyes bright. To us, she said, her glass raised. The crowd cheered, their voices echoing. She'd been a janitor, a hero, a leader. Her warning had sparked this change. After a girl approached, clutching a notebook. I saw you on TV, she said. I want to be you. Nia knelt, smiling. You already are, she said. The girl beamed, running off. Nia's heart glowed. This was her legacy, not just a company, but courage. Nia walked through the gala, shaking hands, hearing stories. A worker thanked her for the health plan that saved his son. A teen showed her a sketchbook, inspired by her fund. Nia listened, her heart full. She'd built this not alone, but with those who believed. Victor joined her, his eyes soft. You've changed me, he said. I was blind to what mattered. Nia nodded, thinking of her mom, Jamal, the kids outside her old apartment. It's about them, she said. Always was. The gala raised millions, funding hospitals, schools. Naya's scholarship would send dozens to college. She visited Jamal, his room bright. "You did it," he said, grinning. "World's better cause of you," Nia cried, hugging him. "You did it," she said. Back at Langston, she worked, not for glory, but for truth. The company thrived. A model of change. Nia's name meant peace, but she'd fought for it, and she'd won. Nia stood alone on the rooftop, the city quiet. The gala was over, stars above. She closed her eyes, feeling her mom's presence. "I did right," she whispered. Her journey janitor to leader wasn't just hers. It was for every kid doubted, every worker unseen. She'd opened doors, built hope. Langston was hers, a company of justice, not greed. A news piece ran, "Nia Carter, the hero who saved a city." She didn't watch it. She didn't need validation. She worked her office small, her mom's photo smiling. A letter came from the girl she'd met, thanking her for art classes funded by Nia's program. "You're my hero," it read. Nia smiled, tears falling. This was enough, changing one life, then another. Legacy wasn't in headlines, but in hearts. She looked out the city alive. She'd shouted, she'd fought, she'd built. And she'd keep going for as long as she could.